Welcome. I'm your host, Michael Crawley, and you're listening to the OSHA Opps Podcast, brought to you by God Safety. Poke, prodded, or just jabbed in the side or face? It's not a good, pleasantly thing to have going on. My name is Mike. This is Rick. We're from OSHA Opps Podcast, if you didn't know. God Safety, of course, the greatest safety company in the world. We're talking about getting poked, prodded, punctured, popped, or... I'm looking for another P word, Rick. Skewered. Thank you, Miss back in there. Being skewered. This is not good. We've got to have something. We're talking about all these things because it really is the most uncomfortable place in the world that I've ever wanted to be. Sitting on a piece of rebar as it's probed me or probbed me or poked me in some fashion, it just sounds terrible, doesn't it, Rick?
It does sound terrible.
Rick, tell us what we're doing with this citation and read out the code for us so we all can get a little learning in us.
All right. This is Title 8. Section 1712 regarding protection from reinforcing steel and other similar projections. Employees working at grade or at the same surface as exposed, protruding, reinforcing steel or similar projections shall be protected against the hazard of impalement by guarding all exposed ends that extend up to 6 feet above the grade or work surface to protect them with covers. And there you have it.
OSHA does a lot to make these things like a tongue twister, don't they, Rick? It's like a tongue twister. This is why we need Rick here to read these, because I would get tongue twisted. We're talking about rebar and guarding it. And when it talks about the 6 feet, we're really talking about the working grade. So if you're working on a job site and the working grade is ground level and you've got a piece of rebar that is 6 feet in the air, technically it has no way to probe or poke you, so it doesn't need to be guarded technically. But if now the working grade becomes the roof and you're 3 feet above that 6-foot tall rebar, now the working grade is taller and you need to cap the rebar. You got to cap your rebar, people. Now, I've seen some OSHA people that come out to job sites, they do get a little corky and cranky, and they're hitting people on the foundation bolts on a job site, and they're hitting people on that. Now, I have seen that before. It is a rarity. Most of the time in Fresno and Central Valley, I've seen that. But most of the time, that's not really what you're looking for. But it's still a good idea if you can. But you're really talking that rebar with that hook at the end. You know when you pinch that rebar off and you're clipping it, it's got that weird little dagger hook that really wants to enter your body and pull out your intestines as it comes out, or some sort of vile part of your body. That's what you got to stop. Now, I don't want to bore you with all the disgusting things through the years that we've seen people get poked, prodded, or skewered, which is not a P word, and she will be rebuked for that later. But the more important part is this. There's a lot of things you got to do. Rick, what happened to the company? What did they get cited for, my friend?
So this is not accident related, but however, the company was found not having some of those things covered, and it was a $6,700 fine.
$6,700 for not guarding your 2-cent rebar. I'm telling you, this is not a logical business choice. But they do get kicked off. I know this. Make sure your people are trained on rebars. We've got lessons and videos all over this. Make sure they are always told that they got to cap these things so that you don't puncture, probe, or skewer one of your employees. I'm Mike. This is Rick. We're coming from the greatest show on earth, the God Safety OSHA Opps Podcast, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. To learn more about safety services we provide, head over to godsafety.com and check us out. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time. And remember, stay safe out there.